Right, so hi everybody and welcome to our latest video. This time I'm with my good friend and something of a trendsetter, dare I say it. My good friend Faz, who is very active in property investing and has a great story and a lot of information to share with us. So welcome to the latest video, Faz. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much, John.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too. So for those of you that know a bit about what I do, I use data and I use market intelligence to help people to find property opportunity. So most of the people that are my clients are people who are quite visionary in their approach to property. They will be looking at different ways of investing, different types of investment, the investments that perform best, basically. And that's something that Faz has worked with me for quite some time on now. It's not just about finding a deal or finding a cheap property, but it's actually about finding the best possible property for the type of strategy that Faz has decided is relevant for that area. And Faz is a heavy user of a lot of our data and a lot of our research. So, Faz, thanks for joining us on the video today.
Welcome, John.
So, how do you help people, Faz? What do you do to help like investors and people like that in your business?
Well, I work with all sorts of people. I generally help people get a better return for their money than what they're currently getting in the banks. And I usually give investors a return of 8 to 10% on their funds. And I go and invest. I find the deals. I source the deals through my connections and contacts. So I source the deals and I get very good deals, generally below market value, generally in poor condition. And I do the properties up, refurb them, and on the exit, I refinance or sell the asset and pull the money back out and give the return back to their investor.
So people can invest in your knowledge and your experience, and you basically offer almost a hands-free approach to property investing is for investors. That's how it sounds to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's often difficult to explain the importance of this, but Faz uses ultimate landlord data to find those locations where he can get the absolute maximum out of that type of property investment, sort of like squeezing every last drop of juice out of the fruit in those property investments. So when we talk about investing, it's easy to think about adding value through things like building and renovation and things like splitting titles and all those complicated things. But we often miss one of the more fundamental parts, which is identifying those locations where properties are likely to increase in value at a faster rate than other areas and the types of properties. And I know, Faz, you and I, we've had many conversations about that, haven't we? About finding those best performing locations.
Yeah, no, it's key for me. Area analysis is pivotal. It's absolutely vital in helping us understand each and every location. And that's specific by postcode for what I want to accomplish in terms of my strategy is to take on a 2 or 3 bedroom house, convert it into a 4 or 5 or 6 bed HMO, houses of multiple occupancy, and for me, it's really important to understand where the market is in that particular area in terms of growth, in terms of regeneration, in terms of capital uplift, in terms of capital appreciation. Mm-hmm. So, and then to work out the demand in terms of what is a high growth asset, in terms of return on investment.
So many people don't do that, do they, Faz? They don't. So I don't want to be. I'm not saying everybody, but an awful lot of property professionals and property sourcing businesses and individuals, they focus specifically on the reduction in the purchase price, which is important because that's needed. You've got to get a deal. I get, and we all get that. But where you differ from most sizable proportion of the people in that space is that you also come to me and come to my business and ask us to do the research for your business to help you to identify the areas where there's going to be the biggest uplift in value as well, if you were to create the HMOs that you described. So the advantage, I think, of working with you, Faz, and I hope you don't mind me saying this for people who are looking to have a sort of a more hands-off investment, is that you've taken the standard approach, which is money off a deal, convert it to add value, but you've added another level, because you've added that extra level of where the demand is and where the demand is at its highest. And that's, if we were investing in stocks, that's what we would want to know. If we were investing in the stock market, we don't want to know all about the company that we're investing into. We want to know what's likely to happen to that company or that type of investment, type of business. Is that in demand or in decline? So you've applied that, and that's massive. What caused you to do that, Faz? Why did you decide to go to the extra level for investors?
Well, for me, it was all about understanding the number one person out there in the UK in this market that's actually doing it, that knows it and knows how to apply it. So with that data, and for me, that's key, really, in terms of what I want to accomplish. So if we join forces to be able to go into areas where there's development potential, where there's opportunities to buy deals which are way below the market value, and also to add value through my knowledge, my expertise in the refurbishment side of things, to add value. And where you come in is to give me that extra layer, or if you like, in terms of the growth potential of where to go in terms of postcode.
I'm totally humbled. Thank you for that, Faz. I really appreciate you saying that, because it is something I'm really passionate about. I mean, I just try and imagine a situation if somebody is not UK based, so their local knowledge, local view or read of what's going on around you is really important. I mean, the UK as a property market is going through a transformation, and a lot of people just keep making up things about it. They say, "Oh, it's the COVID effect," or it's all gonna go wrong when interest rates change, and all of those sorts of things. That's they may or may not be right. I'm not really one for guessing. What I can say is that there is a massive transfer of demand from what used to be very popular locations, very popular types, to areas that have not really seen that surge or that growth in demand. So we're seeing different parts of London starting to heat up. Not all of London. So if you want to invest in London, you've got to know where to invest and what to invest. And then there's also other key areas in the UK, particularly around some of the other cities in the UK. It's not just London in the UK. You've got lots of other cities which are seeing a resurgence and a growth in demand, but not on everything and not in all areas of those cities. So, Faz, I think it's fair to say that you're ahead of the game, because for the work you've done with us, you know the locations which are about to spike, not the ones that have already. So you're ahead of the game there, and you also know the property types. So the particular style and a particular type of property in area. You've identified those in data as well, and we've done a bit of forecasting. So we're looking at those areas that are likely to grow at a faster rate than everywhere else. I asked myself the question: who wouldn't want to be part of that? Who wouldn't want to have that as part of their strategy? Which is why I'm really excited about what you do.
It's great. And I think the key is to understand which strategy works in which location. Yeah. And by the postcode. And for me, that's everything. Is you could get more return of your money, or the investor's money.
So Faz, that's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Fantastic. And I've been involved in property since 2007.
Wow.
So a while now. I've done many strategies over the years.
Yeah.
More recently, I've been doing rent to rent, which is an income strategy. And I've started rent-to-rent coaching as well. A select few people are coming to me and saying, well, this is what we want to do. Can you help us? And I'm saying, yeah, of course, sure. So,
you've got quite a toolbox of support for people. Not just the usual is a property, I'll sort it out, I'll pay at the other end. You can actually help educate people along the way in that process as well.
Help people recycle their cash, and that's where investors come in. And I think that's the key, getting your money to work for you instead of you working for someone,
I can't really top that, really. That's exactly what people should be doing. That's absolutely true. And since 2007, so you're not just someone who's just started out yesterday. You've been doing this for well over a decade. Dare I say it, getting on for a decade and a half. So
yeah. I started with HMOs. I bought 6 in my first 12 months, and I then went on to sourcing properties for investors. And then I went into flipping properties, and then I went into rent to rent.
Wow.
And then I took a few years off because I can and I could. I went traveling. I came back last year. In the last 12 months, I took on 6 more rent to rents. And now I'm thinking 2022, here I go. Let me take my portfolio to another level and work with you, John, and you've been a godsend for me in terms of understanding the market and by the postcode to help me to scale up, go from my existing portfolio to the next level and get some more HMOs.
Well, I think anyone listening to this video and is thinking about using a service similar to yours to assist with the acquisition of assets and getting a good return should book a call with you to find out more. So I would encourage everybody who's in that space to reach out to Faz. And I know Faz's work is going to be part of a wider project that we're working on called Ultimate Property Dashboard, where we'll be not only be providing insights and data to people, but we'll also be providing information about the types of opportunities that the likes of Faz can go and find for you as well. So, I think in this industry, it's very easy to be very active and very busy, but not actually achieve anything. There's always that risk that you're just a bit of a busy fool. I think the difference with working with you, Faz, if you don't mind me saying, is that you're not just talking the talk. You've walked the walk as well. You've acquired properties. You've been a portfolio property owner. You've had multiple strategies, and also you're now using cutting edge data and market read technology to really focus in on where those areas that work best. And that puts you in I would suggest the top 1%, and I think we all should be aiming to be in the top 1% in terms of capability. So again, just to reiterate to anyone who's listening to this video and is interested in property, at the very least, have a chat with Faz and introduce yourself, exchange details, and see how Faz may or may not be able to help. Because even if nothing comes of it, at least you know, and at least you've made a really good friend. And I count Faz as a really good friend. I think he's a fantastic person to have a chat with, and I'm delighted to be part of this project with him. So my thanks to you, Faz, for listening and for using some of the technology that we've got in Ultimate Landlord.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, John, for your help. Really, really appreciate everything that you do.
No problem at all. Hopefully we'll meet up pretty soon and you can show me around some of these some of the latest properties that you've got now. That at the time of recording, we've just come out of the latest coronavirus lockdown in the UK, so now we're able to get out a little bit more. So I can't wait to come meet you as well, Faz. And
fantastic. Really excited. Look forward to it.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you to it, Faz. Thank you so much for everything today and on this call. I'll see you very soon. For those of you that haven't met Faz or spoken to Faz yet, grab his details on the end of this video and book a call or have a catch up with Faz, please, because it will be worth your time, I promise. Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.